So Tigran, oh, it's actually Arsene Melikian. Also for Armenia.
Yes, he was posted at 160 and has opted for 165, whereas some of the men we've seen so far were posted at higher weights, came down and were still unable to achieve them.
Well, this man is massively experienced. He was the Olympic bronze medalist at 77 kilos in Sydney in 2000, but he didn't total in Doha in the World Championships last year.
I don't really know what's happening here, David. Has somebody changed the weights? Has somebody painted some 25 kilo discs blue?
I mean, it's very unusual. I can't remember this for an awful long time. And mellow, as he's known, he's anything but mellow. I think he's wound up now. David Matam coming onto the stage here. The only man, as you rightly said, David, who's so far produced a successful lift and now going for 165 kilos, which will take him ahead of his teammate and into the overall lead. And goodness gracious me, let's hope that the 30-year-old who lifts for France now can break this awful sequence of failure.
Allez, fort jusqu'au bout.
I think he's pretty happy with that.
Yeah, work for it. 2-1 though. Central referee didn't like it. And the central referee is Jan Stefanik from Slovakia. So let's have a look at this. Cause for a failure?
I don't think so. Pretty good to me. Let's watch again from the front. Maybe that right arm.
Nonetheless, it's 2-1, which puts him into the lead. So France 1, France 2 at the moment. Now let's just hope that David Matam has sent some positive vibes into the rest of the competitors. And this is Melikian coming out again. Again, hugely experienced.
And the interesting thing about the failures is that everybody failed. They didn't just all fail, they all failed in the same way. They didn't manage to get enough height on the bar to fix it overhead, which indicates that they all started too heavy. I mean, you know, there's different reasons for failing. So, you know, it's very rarely that the weight's too heavy on the first attempt.
Yeah, because as we always and often say, the first lift should be one that you're pretty sure that you're going to make. Well, not more than, well, more than pretty sure. Absolutely certain. Yeah. Well, that's better. No questions about that. 165 kilos there for Arsene Melikian. He weighed in at 84.80, so he only goes into second place, splits the two Frenchmen. David Matam still with the advantage. So maybe now we're really going to get going. Let's hope so. European record, Andrei Rybakov, 185 kilos. That's the amount he lifted to take the snatch gold in the World Championships in Doha last year. Clean and jerk European record, Zlatan Vanev, 217 in Warsaw back in 2002 in the World Championships. And Georgi Azanidze, who notched up a hat-trick of European titles in this particular category, the European total at 390.
So the bar now going to 168 kilos for Matam.
What did we say? Or at least I said it. You know, anybody can make 6 out of 6. So this is a kilo more than he lifted in the national championships when he was up at 94 kilos. So if he does this, David, I think it'll be very good indeed.
I think psychologically, I think he's up for it. He's pretty happy with those first two.
This will be a little bit tougher, I think.
Oh dear, no, that is not good. If he's pulled the elbow out, it's one of those awful things that actually looks, believe it or not, much worse than it is. But I'm afraid that's a dislocation. Yeah. So there's no way he's going to be carrying on today. Although, funny enough, we've seen this happen before, and we've seen lifters come back within a few months. But he's going to have to go away and have that put back in.
Yeah, normally
it's one of those things you just hate. Oh, you just hate to see that, and I hate watching that in the slow-mo. Just, yeah, that's horrible. We've seen that happen.
Yeah,
quite a few times.
And that really is rotten luck. I mean, just go through that, David. What did he do that resulted in that?
I don't know. I mean, it's who can tell why that happens. I mean, we've seen it happen a lot, especially on the snatch with the wide grip when the bar's behind the head. That's a shame, because he was doing so well. His confidence was high. But when you go for these new personal bests, as you say, unknown territory.
Well, on we go with Zaur Takushev of Russia. Two Russians in this. This is the younger of the two, just 24 years of age. He was competing in the national championships in Kazan, which is 3 to 4 hours east of Moscow by plane, towards the sort of Mongolian part of Russia. Yet another failure.
It's amazing, isn't it? When it starts, it seems to be catching. I think what you said earlier about this class, the person that gets 5 or 6 good lifts in is going to be the person that wins.
Well, it could well be that way, but let's hope that we move on. I mean, the only thing I would say, David, is the way it's going at the moment, Rybakov, well, he could have a very useful advantage. Second of the Armenians, and this is Tigran Martirosyan, the older of the two Martirosyan brothers. His younger brother competed in 69 kilos earlier in the week. Didn't actually have a great time, bombed out in the clean and jerk, but here's Tigran.
He was posted at 165, so he's gone up 5 kilos. Which would suggest that the warm-up has gone to plan.
Well, this is only a couple of kilos less than he lifted in Doha. So you're absolutely right. Let's hope it's a good start.
Oh, well.
What is happening? What is happening?
It's not just failures. I mean, in Matam's, who was doing quite well,
yeah,
complete disaster with that elbow dislocation. So I'm just looking. We've had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 failures out of what? 14 lifts?
Yeah, I mean the percentages are horrible.
15 lifts.
And still Matam leading the way. The bar's gone to 170 now for Yuri Mishkovets. Second of the Russians. He's the oldest man of the class. He's massively experienced. He won his first European title back in Stavanger in Norway in 1996. He's also been second and third a couple of times. He's been third in the world. And he lifted 176 in Kazan in the national championships in February. So he should be up to this.
I really don't understand what's going on here. This is crazy.
Well, this championship is there for the taking if somebody can get their act together.
I don't think I've ever seen so many failures.
Well, the extraordinary thing about it at the moment is that David Matam, with that dislocated elbow, which David, they'll pop back in very quickly. The doctor was right on stage, very, very sharp.
Yes.
And I mean, obviously he won't be able to continue, as you said, but the way they're going at the moment, he could end up with a medal. Because there are an awful lot of people running out of attempts here. So this is Takushev, the younger of the two Russians again. And he has been a bit of a worry in competition. He's great in the training hall. He's not so good in competition. And there you go again. Gets really, really nervous. He didn't total up in Athens. He was second in Kiev in the Europeans 2 seasons ago, when he actually snatched 177.5 kilos on his way to a 377.5 total, but he's only got one more life left.
Well, of 18 attempts, there's been only 3 successes.
Those belong to David Matam, who's now injured and out of the competition, and Arsen Malikian of Armenia, who's currently in 2nd place. Now, this is not Arsen Malikian, this is his teammate, Martyrossian. And Martyrossian, who's had 2 failures?
1 failure.
1 failure, sorry. Well, let's hope it isn't a 2nd failure. 170 on the bar, 2nd attempt.
Well, I don't know what to say.
Well, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't think I've ever seen a category at world or indeed European level where we've had so many failures. There are now, well,
16 failures out of 19 lifts.
Yeah, I mean, Yuri Mishkovets has got 2 lifts left. Rybakov has got all 3 of his, so that's 5. Takushev has got 1.6, and Malikian's got 1.7. There's only about 7 lifts left in the whole competition, and still David Matam leading, and his teammate from the B group, Benjamin Hennequin, still in bronze medal position with his 160 from earlier in the day. So this is absolutely extraordinary. Well, surely Mishkovets can sort this out. I mean, he's 10 kilos short of his personal best, and he's 6 kilos less than what he did in the national championships. Come on. So, new leader. So the man from the B group gets knocked off the podium. It's Mishkovets with 170, Matam in silver on 165, and Malikian of Armenia also on 165, but just in 3rd place by virtue of his slightly heavier body weight. And here he comes. Well, you'll see him in a moment, onto the stage. So Yuri Mishkovets, 3rd attempt, 170. Sorry, not Yuri Mishkovets, Malikian. Apologies. So this 170.
We'll put him into 2nd.
Yeah,
because he's heavier than
Mishkovets,
than the Russian.
Coming down to 10 seconds. Well, he stays 3rd. Well, Takushev has got 1. Martyrossian has got 1 attempt left also. Mishkovets 1 attempt. And Rybakov, the European snatch record holder, waiting in the wings, David, to go with all 3. What did Rybakov post? He said he'd come in at 175. So at the moment, no panic. Not from him anyway. Takushev under the kosh now. Hentosh of the Ukraine has bombed out. Rykovsky of Poland has bombed out. Hasanov of Azerbaijan has bombed out.
And Matan hasn't bombed out, but he is out because of that elbow dislocation.
So that's 4 men out of the competition. And he saved the day. Well, his day anyway, 170, and because of his body weight, 84.50, that's taken him from nowhere to the top of the table. But when you think that he lifted 177 in the national championships, that's not a good sequence. Very strange, David. It's almost like the whole field lost its confidence.
It is strange.
It is strange because you are so focused on what you're doing as a lifter. It's up to the coaches to worry about what everybody else is doing. So Marty Rossi, and he faces the same test here as the man who just preceded him. Now he weighed in at 83.85, which is actually lighter than David Matan.
Well, I don't understand what he's doing. I mean, he posted 165, put it up to 170, which would have indicated that his warm-up went well.
And now he's put it to...
I held it twice and then put it up to 172.
Little logic. And he's got the light body weight, so he could go straight into the lead on body weight alone. So a very strange selection of lifts by the Armenian team.
So
that's the 5th man.
He's out.
Of course, they can all go for the clean and jerk.
9 men, 5 out.
So only 4 can get a championship overall medal. And it just makes me feel even more sorry for the Frenchman, David Matan, because you know the way things have gone, he really would have had a chance to go for an overall medal. That is so disappointing. So Yuri Mishkovets, I think, will be next out. Well, 175. If he is the next man out, it means that Rybakov has put the weight up, because he was due to come out for 175. And so presumably Rybakov, we haven't seen the blackboard but in the back room, but it would have to be 176, or maybe he's going for more.
But again, this is a strange weight to be taking. He only needs 171.
Or maybe they're looking at the overall situation and thinking that if he can take this 175, then that's going to give him a much better advantage of capitalising in the second half. Because remember, you were saying how Rybakov's Achilles heel is the clean and jerk. His clean and jerk is much stronger, so the 5 kilos here could keep him a lot closer to Rybakov. If Rybakov goes all the way to 185, he could have a 10 kilo advantage over this man, and that might, you know, that's why this 5 kilos is important, I think. Well, it leaves him on 170 and in second place to his teammate Takushev, who at the moment is in gold, Mishkovets for Russia in silver, and David Matan of France in the bronze medal position on 165 kilos. And well, Rybakov putting the bar straight to 180, so that's 5 kilos up on his announced opening weight. So if he's in his form of Doha last year, this is going to be the most straightforward gold medal of the whole championship. Individual gold medals and medals at every discipline, but the overall title. So I think, David, if you can do this, he'll go straight for a new European record after this.
Yes, this is the medal,
and this is a 10 kilo advantage. So it's an important lift in every sense. 15 seconds. The world record holder does not let us down, takes the gold medal and gives himself a 10 kilo advantage. He's got 2 lifts to go.
I'm not sure what he's going to do now. I mean, you'd think he'd take 186, but having said that, because of the weakness in the clean and jerk, maybe he's going to go 4 kilos and build, because he literally needs every kilo he can get. Because his clean and jerk, from what we've seen so far anyway, is so weak. Well, it's gone to 186.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a clean and jerk of 204 kilos. So, you know, that's maybe 6 or 7 kilos. I think he's already putting himself in almost an unassailable position. I'm just having a look at this, David, because I don't want to make the same mistake as we made or the other night here, because the world record for the snatch under the old half kilo rule was 182.5, which was actually held by Rybakov. And under the new regime,
it must be 185.
Yeah, it's 185.
So this is a new world and European record.
Yeah.
At 186 kilos.
Yeah, just double checking that, because there are 2 tables in existence now, and Rybakov actually at 185 holds the record. Actually, there's 182 that he set as a junior, 185 in Doha. So here we go. World record attempt, 186 kilos. And this would be, for, under normal circumstances, David, an unassailable lead of 16 kilos. I mean, he's heavier than both of the Russians, Takushev and Mishkovets, but I've got a feeling he can do this. Well, he's got one more attempt, and I'm sure he's going to take it.
Yeah, it'd be nice if he could get it, because it'd almost be a nice consolation to the prize after the amount of failures that we've seen in this class. To actually finish on a world and European record would be great.
Now, how does he get that record? What's he got to?
He just got to finish a bit more in the pull to make sure it's fixed on locked arms. I think you're right. I think he can do it. And I think he needs to do it if he's going to win the overall. I think he needs to.
You think you're not confident? 10 kilos for you isn't enough as a lead?
I don't think so. But having said that, maybe he's gone away, worked on his weakness, and maybe we're going to see a different man out there on the clean and jerk.
But 16 kilos, it would make it mighty difficult for Takushev and Mishkovets and Malikian, because those are the only other 3 guys in the competition in respect to the overall total. Everybody else can go for clean and jerk honours, but that's it. So plenty of time, 45 seconds. Arms right out to the extremity of the bar. So second attempt at a world snatch record, 186 kilos. Come on, come on. That's just what we wanted to see. A bit of quality after a pretty dismal first half. And Andrei Rybakov gets those extra 6 kilos, which may well help him to take the overall championship. But the world record holder in Doha extends the world record by a kilo to 186 kilos.
It's great lifting, and just what we needed actually.
Yeah, some compensation for the other night for poor Gennady Oleshuk when they didn't actually load the world record weight on the bar. They missed by 1 kilo because of the confusion as to what is and what isn't the world record at the moment. They loaded 197, it should have been 198, which he could have easily lifted. Nevertheless, this man has not made any mistake. 186, and he takes a 16 kilo advantage over the 2 Russians into the second half of the competition. Belarus with the edge, more than the edge on paper, over Russia, with David Matam in 4th place. And that's a pity, David, because in a funny sort of way it would have been nice for him to have got a consolation prize out of this, but not to be. And Arsen Malikian, the only other man in the competition. Only Rybakov, Takushev, Mishkovich and Malikian are left to fight for overall honours. And that's something I don't think any of us envisaged this morning. So they've got about 10 minutes.